favorite, your best rating. And then I want to just take a moment between these speakers to give some credit to recognize some of the sponsors of today's event. Cooley, I don't know if Pam Washburn's here, Garage Technology Ventures, Bill Ruckert might be in the audience, Draper Fisher Germanson, Halo System does the website for SFace, and Microsoft BizSpark. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Just going to do a little more music lead-in for you, but how many people out there ever wanted to be a rock star? Come on, that's not the answer. 3 people out of this crowd wanted to be a rock star. Okay. All right, how many people in the audience have children? A lot more than wanted to be rock stars. Okay. Here are my 2 boys, Hayden and Preston, 4 and 7 now. I'm going to give you a little video and picture log of their childhood, and this is what inspired me with this business. And this is right before the headlock that always happens right after the hug. But so this is a rare photo right here. So this is Preston, 3 at this point, comes downstairs one morning, says, "Dad, I want to be a rock star." And I said, "Well, Preston, we got some work to do, but you got a bunch of it worked out already." What does his brother do? "I know how to be a rock star. What you got to be able to do is rock, right?" So he teaches them how to do that sort of thing. And I said, "Okay, we got a couple more things we're going to have to do." So I'm a music lover. My mom was a pianist when I grew up. I appreciate music. Music's part of our life with the family. I don't have any musical skills myself whatsoever, and I have a 3, 4, and 7-year-old boy that I want to teach how to play music, and I really don't know what to do. So what do? I take a couple shots in the dark. I buy him Rock Band. I get him paper jams for Christmas. I don't know if you know what these things are. You just strum it and plays a song miraculously. It doesn't teach him any musical skills. Drums and guitars. Preston want to be a guitarist? Okay, I got him electric guitar. Drums for Hayden. Rock and roll haircuts all around. B-52s is one of the bands that they listen to, so I took them to a B-52 show. I wanted to make the connection between what they heard on my iPod and what real live music was about. They really liked it. And this is what I got. You guys get the idea. A fail, right? So what do? Click the button. So pile everybody in the minivan. I don't have a minivan, but that's what lots of people do. Take them off to music lessons and do your best to try to get your kids to be involved with music. One of the things that stumps them almost every time, like half the kids drop out because the music fundamentals, learning to read and write music, that's not the fun part. They want to learn how to go wah, wah, wah. But they do know how to use a computer. That's Preston at 3. They can use my iPhone and my iPad better than I can. So I ran into some technology through some friends called Musicland. It was a program that used storytelling and character-based storytelling to teach kids deviously how to read and write music. Lots of different tricks that go on in it. Well over 300,000 students now have been trained. This is 1984, the beginning of Musicland and Scudderbugs, a woman in England who developed this process. 300 books have been developed and sold, and there are live programs all over the world. It also turned into another, it permutated into Scudderbugs, which was another program that is bug-based or character-based, and again has all these tricks to teach these kids how to read and write music. So what does that do for you? Well, it teaches kids to read and write music at 1 and 2 years old, well before they can read and write normal words and sentences. It also builds a fundamental understanding of music well before they're going to pick up an instrument. We're not teaching our kids violin and piano at 2, but they can learn to read and write music beforehand. And when they get to the instrument, they're going to be much more likely to get over the hump of learning the music fundamentals and sticking with that instrument, whether they have training or not. So whether they're learning it on their own or they have professional training. And there's a video I'll show at the end. This is a 5-year-old girl who wrote her own music after the Scudderbugs program. So there are lots of rock and roll examples, and this is a bit of a rock and roll show here, but there are lots of classically trained musicians who are Scudderbugs grads. Carducci Quartet, woman in the center. Famous composer, director in England, and everybody can play with their eyes closed on my slides so far. So what we're doing with Musicland, proven techniques, but it's time to put them in a more modern environment. We're repackaging them. We're going to put them in, we're going to redesign the program, getting rid of the bugs. We're putting in more modern characters. and we're going to put it into an interactive 3D gameplay format that falls right into place with the Musicland techniques, and put it on Android and Apple iOS smartphones and tablets. So we think this is a great app business. I have 120 apps on my machine, on my iPod, my iPhone, because it's a 99-cent purchase. Easy to say yes when they're saying, "Daddy, can I have another one?" But in this case, the parents feel good about it because, yes, the kids are going to be doing the gameplay, but at the same time, their kids are learning how to read and write music. We've got a great expansion program where we can add coursework for a level of expertise in different age groups, and we can also, of course, add by different instruments. But it's more than an app business. We're already in talks with broadcast companies. Because it's character-based and it's storytelling, and it ties in with a lot of kids' brands. And we met with a top 3 who said the things we're trying to do are get kids younger and get them with both the normal content that we produce and music, because it's a label that does both. So there are many opportunities after the app business. The team, somebody talked me into doing that. It's my senior photo on top. That's me. I've been in content production for 13 years. I've been a chief exec with motion capture and service of the world's largest customers in games and television. Our team won an Academy Award and an Emmy. Steph Boos, who's in the crowd here, she's our executive producer. She's done content production for a dozen years now as well, and she's well qualified to help us transition these techniques to iPad and Android. And of course, the founder and creator and the woman who helped with converting that to Scutterbugs. So what we've got proven techniques that do their job. They trick kids into learning this stuff. We've got deeply experienced content producers, and you can read the rest. And it's all for the kids.
Okay, Brian. Very well done.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Well, let's start with Bipal.
So, do you plan to have like a set of mobile applications
Yes.
that you're building?
Yes.
And so all the different application will have. Tell me a little bit about your application strategy and what are the different verticals that you're going after.
Well, so the target market is you buying the app for your child at ages 1 through 9. The gameplay is. Are you a father with young kids? Okay. There are a couple out there. Club Penguins is one that everybody knows. It's not 3D. Ours is 3D, which means it's you can navigate in a 3D environment. There's another one out there called Jumpstart, which has an application that's using the platform that we're developing on. But it's exciting, colorful, sort of discovery efforts for the children. So they walk around and they learn different things. They meet different characters. These characters have names with the right syllable count, all the other tricks with the Musicland program. And through this just discovery sort of gameplay, they learn how to read and write music.
And how do you?
Did I answer your question? Sorry.
Yeah. And how do you kind of distribute the application? How do you create awareness? Because there are like tons and tons of application on all these app stores.
Without question. So it's a crowded market, but I think with good promotion, it's something that I've done for a long time, that we can talk to the target market and get people to focus on our apps when they go to find something that's good for their kids. Plenty of apps out there that kids want to buy that I don't feel like buying for them. But I think we can get out in front of the crowd with apps that do two things. They teach them something and they entertain them.
Two questions for you. One, in terms of the monetization approach, is it strictly via the upfront app fee?
To begin, yes.
Or are you going to do any microtransaction post that? Virtual good, I don't know what else you can do.
So certainly that's a place we can go, but I think the app purchase gets us to market quickly. It's easier to distribute. We can get exposure that way because in the background we have these other licensing opportunities and other TV opportunities as well. So I think the right thing to do is focus on something simple, which is get some apps out, prove that we can do the conversion from old techniques to new, modern looking and feeling interactive a program, and then move on from there. So we don't have a big plan on virtual goods, but
okay.
I'm well versed in that market from other startups that I've done.
Okay. And a related question in terms of getting parents to pay the upfront app fee.
Right.
Are you going to promise them any reporting? I'd love to know if my son actually picked up how to do that, is actually learning what he's supposed to be learning.
My next slide is a 5-year-old writing. I won't show it because it's probably illegal, but is a 5-year-old writing their own music. So yes, we could do some metrics on what they've completed, the coursework that they've completed, but in the end, the kids are going to be doing things in front of them like writing their own music.
So 300,000 students over 25 years, something like that. And even if you're able to do that in a year, and at a buck an app, you're able, you get people to download 10 apps each. That's still only a $3 million business, right?
No doubt about it. So can I anticipate your question?
Yeah, I think I just asked it.
So the ladies who founded this, Caroline and Camilla, are ladies from the UK. Fantastic program. But the magic here is Steph and I have joined, realized that there's an opportunity to make this bigger, look closely at the technology and the IP that's in the coursework, and said this is a much bigger market, and parents will pay for this application. So I don't think the curve that you draw from the 300,000 over 25 years is the curve that we expect or can really expect to continue. I think we can go much bigger than that. Hey, parents, would you buy it? Maybe. Whoa. Okay.
Well, Steve, I'm sorry, Brian, thank you very much.
All right, thanks.